Hello S2, and we're now looking at our first lesson on Basking Shark, which is the poem that you chose. Start with our starter task, so pause the video and remember, write each word out 3 times and then come up with a sentence using all 3 words. On you go. Moving on then, we are looking at poetry in S2, and the poem that you chose to study was Basking Shark. We're going to start with an information hunt. What we'd like you to do is go onto Safari and find me 5 interesting facts about Basking Shark, and I would like you to look at 5 different websites if you can. You will see that there is a PowerPoint in your OneNote that I would like you to complete, and I also want you to add in some pictures, and you could even add some videos if you wanted to. You'll notice there's a clock on here because you're only going to get 10 minutes, so you need to use your skimming and scanning tools that you learned about in S1 to do this. On you go. Okay, our learning aims for today then are to fully understand the poem in its context, to understand how to annotate a poem, and to have detailed notes on a poem. And then the course will cover annotating a poem. You will then do a textual analysis assessment on the poem. You'll then look at how to write a critical essay and then how to edit and hand in. Let's think about the context of this poem. It's by a Scottish writer called Norman McCaig, who loved the northwest of Scotland, and he does write about actually encountering a basket shark, and some say that this poem is about a reflection on the evolution of humans and sharks. So maybe keep that in mind when we go to read the poem again. So your teacher will read the poem to you again, and then we're going to look at how to annotate a poem. We use a particular structure to do this called How to Read a Poem, and in S2 you'll get a sheet that looks like this in your OneNote. And basically, you use these questions to help you make notes on the side of your poem, to think about different parts of the poem, and to think about the different techniques. So you're going to need an Apple Pencil, otherwise you'll need to type the notes beside your poem, or use your finger, which wouldn't be ideal. So the first question I want you to think about is who? Who is speaking? Do you think it was the poet themselves, or do you think they created a character? And how do you know? Make notes beside your poem. But what about the ideas? What happens in each stanza? What is the poem about? So beside each stanza, I want you to write down what is going on in that stanza. And then once you've done that, I want you to go up beside the title and write down what you think the poem is about. Now we're going to the how. How is it written? Does it rhyme? Well, I want you to stop and think about this. So we're just going to pause for a minute and think about rhyme schemes. We did look at this in S1, but we're going to look at it in S2. So remember, the first line of any poem is given the letter A. Any line that rhymes with that from then on in is also given the letter A. If it doesn't rhyme, it's given the letter B, and so on. Using your Apple pencils, I want you to annotate the rhyme scheme in Basking Shark. And while you're doing that, I just want you to think about this sound. Okay. Did you notice any patterns? What about the rhythm? Did the rhythm make you think of something when you were thinking about it? Moving on then, let's think about the mood of the poem. Is it funny, sad or serious? Does the mood change? Think about how the poem makes you feel, and beside the stanzas, write down what you think the mood is. Now we're going to look at the words and think about why did the writer choose the words he chose. Look for examples of using the senses. Then look for adverbs, then adjectives, then verbs. There's something really unusual about some of the words in this poem, and I want you to have a wee discussion about that just now. Hopefully you've noticed that some of the words are not words you would normally use, and some of them are almost like two words put together. See if you can work out what the words are sort of based on. Why did he use those words? Now we're going to look for imagery, and what I want you to do here is use your pencil to identify the images. So first of all, can you find any metaphors? What about any similes? Can you find any personification? So pause the video and look for them. And finally, I want us to look at sound effects. So read the poem out loud again. Do you notice any alliteration or onomatopoeia